So we're going to go ahead and begin this lab now, and I'm going to grab a couple of drops of this zinc sulfate, and I'm going to place them over here on top of the zinc. This is all sitting on top of wax paper as well, so it doesn't get any paper wet. On the right hand side, I'm going to be adding my copper sulfate. Okay, so I have my zinc sulfate and my copper sulfate. Oops, there's my zinc there and there's my copper there. So again, if I were to add this directly over here, this would start to turn black because there would be a direct transfer of electrons from the zinc into the copper. But I want to separate these reactions, and they're called half reactions. So right now, the zinc is not dissolving into anything, and right now, no more copper is being formed. First of all, there's nothing that connects these two, but secondly, I have to create a complete circuit. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now connect them with our salt bridge, which are these dots here. Like this. Now this is just to make a physical connection. There's not going to be the transfer of the electrons through this route. They're actually going to be going through the voltmeter. So here I have my voltmeter, and right now you can see that it's at 0 volts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to contact each of these, and we'll see how much voltage is flowing through. And we have 0.94 volts, 0.95 volts. What that means is, well, what does that mean in terms of a battery? Well, here I have a battery. This is a 1.5 volt battery. So this battery is a little bit lower than 1.5 volts, but I've created almost enough voltage as a 1.5 volt battery. It's 0.95 volts. So let's get back to the conclusion, and we're going to answer some of the questions on our lab. What was the voltage between the two metals? We got it to 0.95 volts. Now if we remove the metals and we place them on the table and we record the voltage, so let's go ahead, and I've got a piece of or pair of forceps or tweezers. Okay, I've got them right here, and I've got the copper here. I just took them off, and I'm going to do the same thing that I just did. Going to connect the two, and we see that there's no voltage. There's no voltage flowing through. First of all, there's nothing connecting those two, but we also need to have the zinc sulfate over here and the copper sulfate over here, which we are lacking. So we won't get voltage unless we have that complete circuit. So describe why the voltage has changed. Why was it 0? We need to have a complete circuit in order for that to happen. So to summarize, this lab was to show that we can create the movement of electrons, and the movement of electrons is a little bit different than when we have the two indirect contact. We had the zinc over here, and we had the copper over here, and we had these two half reactions that were taking place, and the electrons traveled through the voltmeter so that we can measure the voltage. This flowing of electrons, this is what we call electricity. And this is our first lab where we're generating electricity.